you're doing well. You had a nice weekend. We've got the CPI tomorrow, so I think all eyes on that, and it's causing quite a lot of skew and uncertainty because we like to rely on the sentiment, but it looks like we might have a fundamental day today, so we have to be careful. I think potentially we're going to see like a flush tomorrow at the data, and then we're probably going to be rallying on Wednesday because at the high level we should be falling. So I think tomorrow a flush of these guys would make sense, and then once they're out of the casino and they got proper destroyed, then we can rally. So we need to be careful on this 24-hour difference tomorrow. If it's green, then that's good. It looks like it's going to help the big picture, and then a continuation on this will then flip the big picture to risk on, and that'll be about Wednesday, maybe Thursday. So I think tomorrow is going to be pretty horrible, and we're going to need to see a flush of these guys. Okay, so that's what I think is possibly going to happen. Note how gold is shifted towards sell. Yeah, it's going up. So we have to be careful. So I think it's the fundamental, fears of the CPI data, and then it could be setting up in order to short because there is an SLC above on gold. It might want that liquidity and then fall. Be careful, okay? Yields rose, so that's risk off, and that's support on a stronger dollar, traditionally speaking. This is completely out of whack, and the 12-month is now yielding more than the 2-year, and more than the 5-year, the 10-year, and the 30-year. So there's concern and fear near term, okay, more so than the long term. So that's risk off. Keep an eye on 26.5 for VIX. That's an important level. It got absolutely hammered last week. We hit that, and then it got it just fell really, really heavily. I think it dumped 8%. So I think the Fed are involved on the VIX, and they've got control on that. They don't want that to escalate because if it escalates, it's going to send panic, and this is the fear gauge. So we want to keep an eye on the fear because we're looking at sentiment. All right. So this is why this is important. Lots of green on indices and risky instruments. However, you might note that things are falling. So, again, it's probably fear and worry because of tomorrow. And I think we're going to be setting up for a dump tomorrow. Okay, so dollar is weakened a little bit on the day and the week. But, if we look at the yearly metric, the 6 months, still strong. However, it's probably yielding some strength away towards its peers, and the dollar Swiss has actually fallen quite a lot on the week, which we can see here. So it's the laggard on the week, and the dollar yen is the leader. However, it looks like dollar yen might be falling, and then that might help lift gold. So we have to remember not to look at things necessarily in a vacuum. We have to look at the big picture as well. It's not so much just technical and sentiment, but there are fundamental factors in there as well. A softer dollar is going to probably help gold prospects. Okay, that's Monday. That should say Monday, but that's fine. I just need to edit that. Say Monday. We need risk off for this. Okay, so I don't know if we're going to be risk off today. It's going to be uncertain. I think tomorrow will probably be risk off. Today, I don't know. In order for this to do well, we need risk to appetite to sour, and then we can do quite well. However, if we go risk on, it's not going to do particularly well. So keep an eye on your indices. Look at your risk on the trading view. You just have to look at your, are we green, are we red? So we're quite green. So because of that, our trade of the day might not do so well. So we want to keep an eye on this, right? You need to understand how the relationship works between risk and Forex. And obviously some currencies perform better in a risk-on environment, like the Aussie, for example. There's the tiers, and also there's an optional fourth tier, and that's the premium. So if you come to the Patreon site, there's a button that you can click and click more, and then you get access to the premium tier. So they're the tiers. If you want to get this bulletin and the trade of the day, it's £8 a month, which is pretty cheap, and you get a lot of stuff. You get this bulletin and you get that trade of the day. The caveat here is that you need to keep an eye on your risk appetite, and if you don't know how that works, I can help you. I've also made a quiz on the weekend that help you understand the relationship between risk and FX. So if you want to do the quiz, just let me know, and I'll give you the role of quizzer, and you can just take the quiz whenever you want. You can take it as many times as you like as well. And then you understand how the bubbles work and how risk appetite affects your FX. This is how we stand. So EJ, is a buy. Did we probe the SLC above? Yeah, we did. We also did on pound yen and we did on dollar yen. But look, they're all green. So we could probably be probing those stop loss clusters above. Okay, that's quite skewed now, EJ. It's going to really destroy a lot of people. And this warrants attention because this is indicating that late bulls are entering. If they do, then the late people are normally counter trend. It could indicate a top, so we want to keep an eye on this. I'll quickly do a 2-minute video for the private feed, and then we can see how this worked out. I can imagine them buying this dip, to be honest with you. If they do, we'll fall, and this is them selling it, so up would come. However, if they buy it, down will come. So I'm quite intrigued to see how this developed from an hour ago, and this is how quickly things do change as well. Likewise, care is warranted. I can't see them selling this, so they're probably looking at this, go, this looks all right, I'll buy that. So they might, and then we'll fall, right, just to punish them. And I think tomorrow we're setting up for a dump, I think, possibly. And then Wednesday we're going to rally up after, like a post-dump rally. So that's how I'm projecting the risk appetite, the risk calculation to go. Will be risk on Wednesday. Because we'll look at the momentum, right? We're looking at this 20-hour difference, and we're understanding how powerful that is, and then see if it impacts the big picture. We're looking at yesterday's metric, Friday's metric, and if it gains momentum, it's going to impact this, and we can calculate how long it will take. It's like a distance over time metric. Where are we? Let's go back here. We were on DAX, so care warranted, although they're both pointing down. The MA is pointing down and the SSI is pointing down, so this wouldn't be a sell because at the high level they're short, right? Gold's being naughty, and I think it wants the stop loss cluster at 1730. There's a stop loss cluster up there, so I think it probably wants that, and then we're probably going to fall. But it should not be rallying. So I said to in Discord, if you want to know if it's going to be a sentimental or fundamental day, it might be an idea just to look at gold, because sentimentally this should be falling with a strong conviction that it should be falling, because not only is it a sell, but they've really gone long. Right, so if we do rally with a fundamental driven day, and then it's going to override sentiment. If so, more focus on technical. Okay, so keep an eye on gold is probably going to be a good suggestion. And if it does go up, we know that the sentiment is taking a back seat to fundamentals, and the CPI is going to be absolutely roller coaster tomorrow. So be careful. Gold is a sell, right? So it shouldn't be going up, but it is. Aussie USD is the largest stop loss cluster, and that's the location 66.85. And see, this is poor. And when I was doing this, when I was doing the liquidity, this takes about 20 minutes to do. This bit here, when I was populating this, I knew it would be a poor failure rate just because I looked at the price action. CAD has got a 0 score, so they're getting paid on their CAD exposure, and they're getting paid quite a bit on their Swiss and Euro as well. So that's not good. This is worse than the roulette table. You're better off going to a casino and putting your money on red, and then you have greater odds than if you were to trade using the sentiment. We want this about 70% or higher. All right, you don't want to enter now if you're looking at sentiment. Yeah, AU triggered and went Friday, sorry, and it came a bit late. We'd already rallied 79 pips. So really it was 0 pips because it was too late. If you would have called it, it would have done quite nicely. But I woke up at 7 o'clock on Friday, so we missed that big move. But you could have called it if you had the sheet. And if you want the sheet, it's the premium tier on Patreon. Now we're finally moving away from extremes. Finally, we were really extreme for ages, and now the only ones with conviction or strong buy, strong sell is dollar yen and dollar Swiss and EG. Everything else has moved away, technically speaking, which is nice to see because we were really extreme, and we hit, what was that, a 40-year low on GU. something like that. It's ridiculous. 1985 the last time it was that low, and fairly quiet. But we've got CPI tomorrow, so always trade safely, keep calm. I'm going to wrap up now, and so we can look at that indices and see how they've evolved. I think gold's going to go up, and we're going to be a fundamental day, but we'll see. So click these links, and then you can join. And then there's a nice link for FX as a side there as well. And there's the Patreon website if you want to join. So I'll speak to you guys soon. Trade safely today, and especially tomorrow.